Say I am, man, if I wasn't, you hoes wouldn't bite my time. I'm making money on your mind, and it's all the time. Talk about me, bitches, stupid, I just losing your mind. When I walk in the club, I make the haters mad, just as I can shake and rap even faster. Why you acting dumb like so when you hear hot pistol got the push, get you stalled. Get you.
Okay. Stay out of here.
So where does the penis come out? What? I'm serious. That's a water ring. He just ate it. You should kill him. He's doing it with his nose.
I'm saying this is a perfect
They gave them the ring.
No, it's they do it by themselves.
Oh, it is a water ring.
You think what you thought? She thought somebody gave it to her.
Oh my God, look at it.
This is what Irish people
Yeah, she's on Harley.
They all got that hairstyle that's like, dude.
They look like they did that.
I don't know how they made that happen. Don't these attack though? Don't these attack?
They get big too.
Are they not done growing? I have been missing in action since, I want to say, well, technically, since the aquarium, I guess. But yes, I have not been vlogging. I have not been recording. I have not been editing. I have not been doing anything but healing. I've been healing. And I might do a video on this because I think it's important to discuss what it feels like to heal and to kind of release stuff and kind of get things off of your chest. And I don't think it's not like a list of people that have to go down to kind of heal spiritually, but there are some people who, when I'm around them, it kind of makes it hard for me to kind of just be in their space, and I know it's not them, I know it's me. So because of that, I kind of like shut down, get awkward, and it's received the wrong way. I know that plays a lot on, me, and not just like plays a lot on me as in I feel bad, but it plays a lot on me on how people perceive me. So because of that, I've been just working through it. I had therapy this week, and it was really helpful. As I've said 1,000 times, I recommend therapy to everybody. Like I said, it's not like you go in, you talk to a shrink, and they prescribe you medicine. It's far from it. For some, it might be that way, but for me and the people I really know, like 1 or 2 people who've done it, it's not that way. Excuse me. But yeah, so going to therapy has been helping out a lot tremendously, and I think I had a lot of anxiety leading up to this week. I found out that I can start putting pressure on my leg again, which was exciting. So I walk with one crutch in the outside of the house, but in the house, I've been kind of transitioning off of my crutches. I now have to do physical therapy twice a week. I I knew going to therapy was like bringing me anxiety. And I was watching The Hood Healer. If you don't know who she is, she's this Instagram. She's not an Instagram lady, but one of her platforms are on Instagram, and she just kind of talks about different awakenings. And she was talking about anxiety today and how it's just, it's basically the spirit of being out of control or feeling out of control, even though we're never supposed to be in control. And it's also like this idea of the unknown. And so all those things play a part to me and my anxiousness. And so I'm trying to deal with my anxiousness. So I had to address some triggers this week, and it was very releasing. It was very therapeutic. I don't think I necessarily solved any problems like outwardly, but inwardly, I think my inner pain is slowly starting to heal. And it's just teaching me the things that, my mind has said was like the scariest things ever are not that scary. So, and I know that everything is destined, everything is aligned, and there's no, I wish I would have did this, I could have did this. That's where my anxiousness come from, where I try to outplay a scene that has already happened and try to outsmart it and feel like I was incapable of the best outcome, when in reality the best outcome happened. So with that being said, God has me in this place for a reason. He has me going through what I have to go through for a reason, and it is going to better me no matter how tough it may seam. It's not the end of the road. It's not the end of the world. And just dealing with that. Even like as I'm talking, all these different things are like causing me to feel like sadness or something. But I know it's for the best. I know everything that is presented to us has already been predestined. Everything that is being presented to us, everything that we're living through has happened. And of course, like your grandmother say, and the pastor say, and your neighbors say, and your cousins say, but what the hood healer said today was, if God brought you to it, he'll bring you through it. So if it's a job that you want, if God saw that you were fit for it, he's going to give it to you. If it's a firing of a job, then, and God felt that it needed to happen, it's for the best. If whatever the case may be, it's just for the best. So that's kind of where I am. That's why I haven't really been vlogging. I haven't been editing either, but let me see. I don't know if you can see or not. It's going to be backwards. But yeah, so I've been editing, I've been uploading because I haven't, and I've been putting it off. But I told myself today I had to do it, so I did it. So my haul video is up. My vlog from 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago is up. My get ready with me should be up tomorrow. I just have to create my thumbnail, but it's uploaded. Oh, it's uploading. I have 18 more minutes on it uploading. And yeah. Good morning. It is, I don't know what I'm trying to say. Yeah, but I'm Team No Bra. So what up? What up, Team No Bra? But so today's actually Sunday. I would have ended the vlog yesterday, but I didn't because I was kind of like in a funk. And One of the things about dealing with anxiety that I'm starting to learn is that you will have a lot of those, especially when you're an overthinker. You'll have a lot of moments where you find yourself constantly like questioning, you know, what is life? And so it's unfortunate, but it's the reality of it. So yeah, yesterday was one of those days where I just was in a state of not necessarily depression, but I had to constantly fight my negative thoughts that kind of played onto my head. So I don't know, what do you think? Should I make a video? I probably will make a video regardless, on dealing with anxiety. I told someone outside of my immediate family this week that I deal with anxiety, and I've been dealing with it for the last 10 years. So she was very shocked, to say the least. But one, because we had like that commonality, that she also has dealt with anxiety of her own. So, and I guess she kind of saw me in this light of like having my stuff together, but you know, not all the time, not everyone has it together. And I think a lot of times when it comes to YouTube or Instagram or Facebook or Snapchat or whatever the case may be, a lot of times people like to just only show the glam of their life. Anxiety is real. It is a everyday battle. I think a lot of times people want to glamorize it, like, you know, it's just a lot of positivity, it's a lot of meditation, but no, it's a lot of wearing masks, and it's a lot of filtering your feelings, filtering your thoughts. It's a lot of not out like unleashing your feelings in rage, because that triggers more anxiety. Because 10 years in this, and this is really a year and a half of me understanding what I have, because one of the reasons why I moved home was, one, because life was becoming a lot. Bills were becoming a lot. Work was becoming a lot. I was less than half a paycheck from being on the streets. So I made the choice to come home and put aside my ego to do so. And so because of that, I dealt with a lot of deep depression moments. I dealt with a lot of like irrational moments. I was outlashing on people that were important to me. I was not necessarily doing harm to my body. I just kind of couldn't really deal. So I moved back home, and it was a lot of just change. It was a lot of uncomfort. It was a lot of newness. And so because of that, I went through a year of like anger, and I went through a lot of healing as well. I won't say it was just all anger. I think that I just started making choices that led me to this moment right now. And they were all the best choices that I possibly could have made. No one in this world makes mistakes. People make choices. The choice that you might make it feel like a mistake, but everyone has a choice in this world. And so I think last year it was a lot of thinking of self in a good way. So this is when I first started just YouTube. It was when I first started working out. It's when I first started writing more, reading more, speaking out more, and trying new looks, trying new thoughts. So because of that, all of my anxiety has, like I said, led me up to this moment right now, in this place right now. And so I think this year, in comparison to 2018, has been about me looking at the flip side of anxiety. So 2018 was learning what I could control and learning what to do when, things don't necessarily seem like I can control them. Things seem like, it's out of my play, it's out of my reach. And even though it's out of my reach, if I put my trust into God, if I put my trust into knowing that all things work for His perfect timing, then I'll be okay. So my faith became a lot stronger. And one thing about me is I love my ancestors. I love Black Lives Matter. I love knowing about self and reading for knowledge, but I always put Christ first. I always put God first. And so I think that was the journey I was on. And then 2019 hit, and it seems like I just been dealt a series of bad cards. And I say that, and I know it's okay, but I say that because it seems like, if I had to play a deck of cards, I would throw that whole thing back like, nah, shawty, miss deal. But because it's life and it's not spades, or as my grandma would say, big whiz, I kind of have to use what I learned about my self-control and learn how to control things that I'm not in control of. My aunt actually called me, so I lost my train of thought. But what I was trying to say was, this year has been about dealing with my anxiety when my fears are real. So it's a difference in worrying when things don't exist. That's where, like I said, a lot of my anxiety typically stems from. When I start to think about the unknown, when I start to overanalyze, when I start to try to control my future. And then there's the anxiety that you deal with when it's still the unknown, but you're dealing with the situation. Followed up with my car accident, which I haven't talked much about it, but the parts that I remember replay in my head like daily, I still feel the impact. I still remember the impact. I still remember the glass, the smoke. I still remember the airbags blowing up. I still remember my car spinning out. I still remember my windows caving in. I still remember my door being jammed and having to get myself out before thinking my car was going to catch on fire. I still remember dragging myself across the highway. I still remember being by myself and having my guardian angels there with me. But all of those things, and like my scarring, but being alone. So when someone says you're strong, you instantly feel weak because people don't know what you're going through. People see what you present to them. So it's like an insult, like, oh, you got this, you're strong. And it's like, well, I don't know if I'm strong if I'm crying every night. I don't know if I'm strong if I don't have money, which is all like tangible things. But that's what as human nature, we relate those things to be of importance. So yeah. When I go into these funks, I have to think back to things like everything happens for a reason. I have to go back into the thought of like nothing is permanent. I have to go back into the thought of, in order for your day to start off right, you have to start it off right. And I think yesterday was just it's very heavy, if that's the word I would want to say, because I was alone. My grandma was downstairs, of course, but I was alone mentally. And I also have to remind myself that people have lives. Like, you know, it's not fair for me to put these expectations on people who also have their own things to cater to, who also have their own battles to go through. So it's kind of like you're contradicting what you're saying by saying, well, be there for me, but everyone has things going. So that's another part of what I have to kind of talk myself through, so that I don't start holding resentment towards people, because I'm gonna put this down because it's starting to get a little heavy. Yeah, so that I don't start showing resentment to people. Oh, yeah, I'm not walking with crutches. I got a little mean limp though. So that I don't start resenting people. So the one thing that I will say out of all of my rambling and getting my thoughts out onto camera, I will say is that, for advice, if you're like me, I'm talking to my therapist, I've discovered that I'm a very, you may not be able to tell, but I'm a very quiet person. I enjoy my privacy. I enjoy being by myself, but around others. So one of my favorite, my aunt also taught me this as well, but one of my favorite things to do is to go to Starbucks and just be by myself, but around other people. I like to be in a room with people where they don't talk to me, but they know I'm there, and they'll like wink at me, like say a family member, or they'll just a gentle touch. I also learned that about myself. When I'm having my panic attacks, touch helps. Not for everybody. Don't go around touching folks if they're having a panic attack. Know the person. Panic attacks are real. They are extremely real. I am a person who deals with them, where the mind takes over the body. So touch grounds me, and deep breaths help as well. But I say all that to say, let people know what you're going through. Find a trusted person. Don't go around announcing, hey world, it's me, I got anxiety. Don't do that, my friend. You know, that's never a good look. Ooh, I should do a Fenty lip commercial. When you anxious and you feeling like you can, make sure your lips is popping during it. Yeah, talk to people. Find someone that you can really trust, and I guess like have a code word or something. Find a way to express yourself. I like expressing myself through writing. Yeah. Express yourself through drawing, express yourself through singing, express yourself through writing, express yourself through interpretive dance, the drums. If you feel angry, beat them drums. If you feel angry, sing at the highest octave that you possibly, or the lowest octave that you possibly can to get you through it. Because in the end, you just kind of dig yourself in a deeper hole that's never really good for you. And you just kind of end up in a depressed state of mind, where your mind is just overwhelmed and you just feel like there's no end. And then you create an end, and you don't ever want to do that. And so I can talk about it in a different video, because this is going to be the end of this video. I don't want to prolong this video any longer than it needs to be. But especially to all my loved ones and my family who walk the same walk as mine, whether we're blood family or we kin folk, or you up the street and you dealing with what I'm dealing with or going through. I know for me, I've experienced suicidal thoughts. I've experienced to the point where I had to get help, because if I didn't, it would have ended poorly, because I wanted to create my own ending, and that's my control that I have to let go of. So definitely get help if you do feel like, you know, you have no end, so you want to create your end. Definitely seek out advice. Go to therapy. It's worth it. It's very, 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 very worth it, because the end that you want to create is not the end that you deserve. So, yeah. Just wanted to end this vlog on this note, because this is where I am right now. I know I saw some YouTube video that says, like, if you get better views, don't ever be sad. Well, that's impossible. You're going to be sad. That's part of growth. So be sad, be upset, be hurt, be confused, be distraught, be flabbergasted. Be all of those things, because it's for a reason. It's definitely for a reason, and whether we know it or not, it's a part of our journey. And don't try to, you know, not be your authentic self because you think you have to be this made up person that you've created. That's never the case. So thank you so much for watching. Leave a comment down below. I want to hear from people who watch. So even if it's just one person watching, leave that comment, because it lets me know that I'm making a difference in someone's life. Thanks for watching. Bye, y'all.